Hey, welcome to Have Your Best Week Ever down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's where we're coming live from today. And I just want to welcome the viewers as you come on board and to have your best week ever. If you would, go over to the Facebook group. Let me get over and make that open as we're talking here. So let me just continue to chat a little bit, and I'm going to make it live as we work to do that. Let's see. When I say live, you can actually face it's a closed group over at Have Your Best Week Ever. That's right, Have Your Best Week Ever is the group. And when you come over there, normally you got to knock to come in, but what I'm going to do is, what I like to do when I'm on the air is actually just allow you to come on just in case you're not a member of the group. We would love to welcome you in the group and come on in and we can share a little bit with you, a lot more with you actually, because what we do is we actually post all the great things that we do here on Sunday Night Hangout inside of the group, and so we do that and change. So I changed the admin, so in case you want to join in the group and be part of the group, let's see here. Just making one. Let's see. All right, so it should be changed right now. All right. Just want to welcome to you. Have your best week ever. That's right. Have your best week ever. And tonight, as we go live, fortunately, I had some technical difficulties. Tonight, we're going to be talking about rituals of the successful. And I was having some technical difficulties, had some issues with my PowerPoint that I was going to present. I said, hey, Howard, you know, what happens? I mean, this is live time. What happens if this happens to you when you're getting ready to do a presentation, which I have had that to happen. So PowerPoint didn't work, and we had to go live and actually share the information and without the visual. And that may happen to you as you're out speaking and training. No matter what happens, no matter how well you prepare, sometimes, hey, the equipment failure. You know, we talk about operator error. We also have equipment errors also. So that can happen. So be prepared to do that. And that's one of the things that we're doing tonight is just going to be a monologue, a conversation with you. And so one of the ways that we can interact a little bit during that conversation is simply by posting in the Facebook group and being able to share your thoughts inside of there. But as you know, we're going to give it a couple more minutes as you know, sometimes we always have folks coming on about 5 minutes after the hour. And like I said, I want to be respectful of your time. That's the key thing, respectful of your time. So as you're listening on, you can also catch us on Tuesday mornings on WTQT FM. That's WTQTFM.org. Or you can go to, well, their website is www.wtqt.org. Or you can go to WTQT on TuneIn, the app, the TuneIn app, and actually listen to us live at 7 a.m. Central Time. That's 8 a.m. Eastern, and I guess 5 a.m. Get up early in the morning and catch us out on the West Coast as you're getting stuck out in that traffic. Because I used to live out there, and 5 a.m. was about the time we would get in the traffic. So you can definitely listen to us, and we've got some new things coming up with the radio show, and excited about those, and we'll be sharing those as we move forward throughout this next couple weeks. Also, you can join us. We have a new product we have out called 15K in 45-minute meeting, and that's a conversation where we actually work on a business owner's business and help them find 15,000 new dollars in their business in less than 45 minutes. And the great thing is you're able to join in on that meeting and listen, or you could actually be that person. And how do you get into that conversation? Just simply go over to 15K in45minutes.com. That's right, 15K in45minutes.com. So So it's just a couple things that we have coming up, and we're excited about those, and would love for you to participate with us in those. But as we get ready, we talk about the rituals of the success. What I call them habits, rituals. And I truly believe as you develop habits, they become your rituals. It's what you do consistently. People can almost set their clock by you. They can set their watch. Such and such is going to show up at this time, and they know that. So just want to share a few rituals that I've seen. And one of them, as I interviewed a lot of successful individuals, and one of my books, Southern Greats, I consistently saw a lot of these rituals, a lot of these habits. They consistently does the same thing. And there was one said, to do is look for them. So I just wanted to kind of put those in a little cap for you and hopefully help you have your best week ever, because that's our theme here, is to take about 30 minutes every Sunday night to help you have your best week ever. So number one is to begin with the end in mind. We'll get right into it. I call it the rituals of the successful. Number one, begin with the end in mind. Number two is plan minute by minute. That's right, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. They truly plan. And as I was, listening early today, studying and going over some research things, that you should spend more time planning than actually doing. You should really lay out great plans. Then three is what I call master the C's, and we'll give you those. And once again, I will gonna have to redo the PowerPoint because it was a corrupt file or something happened to it, but we're gonna post it inside the group, most likely be within the next 24 hours. And then number four is be accountable. That's right, be accountable. And then number five, execute. Action, action, action. That's right, action. You gotta have action. You gotta make it happen. People talk about what they're gonna do. They do all this great planning, which you gotta do the planning, but you gotta have action. So number one, we'll talk about beginning with the end in mind. As we talk about have your best week ever, I want you to begin with this week ending. That's right, begin with this week ending. As I finish this broadcast on Sunday nights, I go into my planning mode for the week. So I'm going to literally lay out my week. We use a system called Top of the Life weekly planning system. So I'm going to use that system to actually lay my week out. I want to, what's going to happen? What are the big outcomes, things that you this week? Number one, I got a big event. Number two, I got family coming in town, my parents. Number three, I got several jobs in process that I have to move along for some of my clients. So those are things that I know I have. And then as I sit down and look back over last week and plan things forward, I can determine how I want this week to look before it begins. So begin with the end in mind. Second thing I want you to do to help you begin with the thing end in mind for the week is to identify 3 people that you're going to help this week. That's right, 3 people that you're going to help this week. 3 people that you're going to serve this week. And then list how. Yeah, list how. You can actually go inside the Facebook group and download the form that I have this information on it, and will help you capture this and really work through it. So I want you to think of 3 people that you're going to serve. They don't even have to know it. That's right. They don't have to know that you're going to help them. So they don't have to know that you're going to help them have their best week ever. But as we're talking about beginning with the end in mind, we said number one, you want to determine that big outcome. Number 2, you want to what? Serve others. Identify 3 people. Write their names down and how you're going to help them. You want to identify those 3 people. And then number 3, the third thing you want to do is identify 3 people or 3 resources that can help you. That's right, 3 people or 3 resources that can help you. A lot of times as we're going forward in our week, we don't identify the resources that are going to help us. We don't ask for help on the things that we're going to do. So I challenge you to do that. Once again, begin with the end in mind, right? That's what you're doing. So you want to determine that big outcome, number 1. Number 2, who are you going to serve? Write down at least 3. Because remember, we're in the service business. We are in the service business. And then the third thing is to who can help you. So wanted to share that with you. Definitely, if you're taking notes, you can write it down. I'll post it inside the group, the actual slides. I had some technical difficulties getting them posted up here on the PowerPoint tonight. All right, number 2, plan minute by minute. That's right. As you plan minute by minute, it's critical that you plan your week out minute by minute. At the end of the day, you have 168 hours in the course of a week. You know, if you look at a minute, at a day, you have what, 1,440 minutes in a day? If you want to plan it out second by second, it's 86,400, if my math serves me correctly. So you want to do that. Number 1, a couple things you want to do. Plan your day by time blocking. Plan your day by time blocking. I had an example of a form that we use for time blocking to lay out our week. To actually block out the whole week. So when I look at my schedule, pretty much systematically block out my week. And then plan for unexpected time. I've said unexpected time. Plan time for the unexpected. What I mean by that is that there are going to be things that pop up that we don't know that we can't control. So we have to plan for that. So allow time for those things to happen. Allow time for the unexpected to hit you. Allow time for the unexpected to hit you. And then utilize a time log. Utilize a time log. So as you reflect back over the last week, you can really capture what you did or did not do. What you did in 15, at the worst case, 30-minute increments. So you're really getting down to planning your day minute by minute. So use a time log. One of the systems, we have one, of course. Use a system. You got to have a system to do this. We have one. You can go inside the Facebook group, have your best week ever, and download the growth planner. Actually, download a growth planner. And when you download it, you will actually be able to have a time log right there to utilize. So once again, to help you plan minute by minute, you want to plan your day by time blocking. 2, plan for the unexpected, because unexpected things will happen. So as you lay your week out, realize that you cannot control every minute. I always like to say, how do you respond versus react? So don't react to everything that comes up or kind of throw you off course a little bit. And then lastly, utilize a time log. Utilize a time log. Number 3 to talk about is mastering the C's. That's right, mastering the C's. I'm going to talk about 4 C's. Be creative, be curious, be committed, be consistent. Number 1, be creative. Be creative in how you get things solved. Look for creative new ways to make things happen. Strategize with your team. Strategize with your strategic partners. One of the things that I'm going to do this year, and I got to do it, is actually form an advisory board of highly successful individuals to help push me and hold me accountable inside my own business. I had a conversation, Saturday night with one of those persons that I want to invite to be on there. And we talked about that briefly, and he was, hey, I'm open to it. So that is one way to be creative. But whatever business you're in, I want you to find ways to be creative. Find ways, new ways to provide solutions for your clients. Because remember, people come to you for problems, but they pay you for solutions. So you must be creative in how you deliver your solutions. The other one is to be curious. And when you're curious, you ask questions. That's right. That's where the power is. You ask questions. You got to ask questions. So I want you to be curious. Ask why, what, when. Understand what's going on, as they would say in the automotive industry. What's happening under the hood? What is happening behind the scenes with your clients? And when you understand that and be curious, you will find better solutions for them. And therefore, you're bringing more value to your marketplace. I want to challenge you to be curious and then be committed. Do what you say you're going to do and make it happen. Deliver upon what you say you're going to do. So you be committed. Be committed to your team. Be committed to your vendors. Be committed to your clients. So I want you to be committed to all. And then last, be consistent. So one of the ways to help You have your best week ever, and how successful people have their best week ever is they don't do things in spurts. They do things consistently. The Bible tells us the race is not given to the swift, but he that endures. And that's what we must do. And that's being consistent. You want to be consistent in what you do. So I challenge you to master those C's. Number one, creative, curious, committed, and consistent. Next thing is to be accountable. I should have turned the AC on. So we're down in Louisiana recording, and hey, summer comes early. Yeah, a little earlier than normal. But I want you to be accountable. Number one, accountability is a two-way street. I want you to think about that. And what I mean by that is that you must be accountable to your team, and then also you must hold your team accountable to the commitments that they made to you to help make your week the best week ever. And successful people do that. They hold people accountable. They hold their team accountable. They hold their vendors accountable. They hold themselves accountable. And that's the toughest person to hold accountable is yourself. And as we talk about holding accountable, you want to allow your team to hold you accountable. I had one client I was talking to, one person I interviewed actually, what he would do was once a month, he would give his people checks. And if he did not deliver something or do something by the time that they agreed upon, they could cash the check. You're talking about accountability. You're paying people to hold you accountable. And then the third thing I want you to do is identify 2 accountability partners. Yes, 2 people that will serve as your accountability partners. 2 people that will meet with you weekly. Yeah, 2 people are going to meet with you weekly to help hold you accountable. Because what happens is, and I know personally, I do have a couple accountability partners, and Memo and Rick and John Labuda, 2 separate groups. But when I show up, I must show up prepared, and I expect the same out of them. And that's what's going to happen when you have an accountability partner. And then lastly, you can use groups. So you're in close-knit groups, tight groups. You can go over to Have Your Best Week Ever. We'll serve as an accountability partner for you in there, and actually ask others to hold you accountable. And people like holding your feet to the fire. They want to help you. So they want to hold your feet to the fire. And that's good. But you want to be held to the fire, then you got to help others hold themselves accountable. And then last is execute. Execute, execute, execute. Just a couple things. I mean, you got to get up and do it. You got to get up and do it. A couple things I want to talk about. Number one is automate the beginning of your day. When I mean automate, not necessarily tying everything into technology or automation. Develop that schedule that you consistently do every morning. What time do you get up? Get up consistently at the same time. Meditate, work out, breakfast, whatever it is, automate it. So at the beginning of the day, you're not thinking. If morning is your best time, schedule your highest priorities work-wise before you even meet, but automate that. So if you don't go into the office till 9 o'clock, you may have already worked on 2 or 3 projects well before 9. But you want to automate that and consistently have that as automation. We talked about using technology to drive you. Use technology to help you stay on schedule. Use technology to remind you of things. There are a lot of tools out there. Use technology to help you capture your thoughts. One of the best tools I use is Evernote. Evernote is a great tool for that. So I challenge you to if you're not using Evernote, definitely use it. Use the alarm settings on your phone, whatever type of phone you have. Have it to remind you. Set stopwatches when you're doing a project so you'll focus. Hey, for the next 20 minutes, undistracted, no Facebook looking, no email checking, just straight grind on this. And then you do those kind of spurts throughout the day and consistently do that. Wow, it's going to be amazing. And then lastly, automate the end of your day. And that's called bookending. You heard me, automate the beginning, automate the end. That's really bookending your days. So what is it that you're going to do before you go to bed? Number one is you're going to plan your next day. That's right. Plan your next day. Number two, I challenge you to read something positive before you go to sleep. Read something that's going to help you grow and stretch. And you'd be amazed at how your mind takes over from where you left off in reading. And then number three, have some time to wind down before you actually crash, before you actually go to sleep. So you don't want to just be, up working and then all of a sudden just crash. Put a buffer in between that so you can consistently do that and really begin to plan the next day ahead. A lot of times, personally, I like to try to plan before I leave the office, but most of the time it's an hour or two before I lay down. I plan my next day out, write out my calls, first and tens. What are those top priorities? Go back over today's schedule and plan it forward. So those are some things that I've found that works for me, but more importantly, for a lot of highly successful people, people that have achieved a lot in life, and I had a chance to interview quite a few of them. And these were some of the consistent traits that I saw. These are some of the consistent things that I found amongst them that allow them to be successful. So I'm trying to adopt them in my life. I challenge you to adopt them in your life. Apologize for the visual folks, that loves to be able to take notes straight from a PowerPoint. We had some technical difficulties, but I promise you I will post that inside the Facebook group within the next 24 hours. Hold me accountable to that. That's right. Hold me accountable to that and have your best week ever. And I'll be glad to shoot that over to you. And then also on Tuesday mornings, hey, make sure you jump online and catch us at the Top Choice Empowerment Show. We're actually going to be changing the name of the show and changing the format slightly to Grow Your Business Radio. We're going to have some exciting guests lined up to help you grow your business. And that's what we will focus on. That's what we focus on already, but we're going to change the name to reflect that. But you can go over to WTQT.org and catch us online there, or you can go in the TuneIn app and look up WTQT 106.1 and catch us live there at 7 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. So I challenge you to do that. And with that said, hey, we're closing out. It's, like I said, 30 minutes, Sunday nights, and that's just a little bit of time, 30 minutes. You got 1,440 in a day. That's right, 1,440 in a day. Invest 30 minutes with us, and we try to give you a couple nuggets that you can use to help you have your best week ever. This is Howard. It's been a pleasure sharing that with you. Go over to the Facebook group, share with us your thoughts, and share with others your thoughts, and challenge them to have your best week ever. Challenge you to post the one or two nuggets that you got out of it that's going to help you the best. So in closing, as always, I want you to be the best you possible, because guess what? Everybody else is taken. Take care. God bless. And we shall see you the next time.